Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Thursday, October the 24th, and we are here to look at the new releases that have been published this week in the world of fantasy and science fiction. Every day of the week, we look at a different genre. On Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. On Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. Wednesdays is romance. Today, fantasy and science fiction. Friday is Freeform Friday. We look at whatever I want to look at. Sometimes it's things that didn't necessarily fall under those categories. Sometimes it's more cozy mysteries because there's always a lot of those. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I do those sprints 3 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, and on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, and that one goes for 5 hours. So a total of 8 live shows every week. But let us start with our new releases in fantasy and science fiction, which is always mostly fantasy. Stephanie Garber has a new novella in the Caraval series, which I'm sure people are going all giddy about. This is called Spectacular. It is a good cover. Yeah, there's an illustrator listed. Snowflakes are falling, invitations are arriving, and holiday magic is swirling in the capital city of the Meridian Empire. It's Great Holiday Eve. Scarlet Dragna is planning a spectacular holiday celebration for the city. Donatella is searching for the perfect gift. Julian is looking ridiculously handsome in green. And sadly, Legend is not fond of the great holiday. Tella is hoping her perfect gift will change his mind. Unfortunately, she hasn't found this perfect gift just yet. But it is great, great holiday Eve. Surely there's some holiday magic swirling around. And a novella here is 224 pages. Goodness, we have cozies that are half that size and considered books. A book. Susanna Clark has a new one. Hi, Annalise. You were just reading? That is good to hear. Reading is good. This is called The Wood at Midwinter. A church is a sort of wood. A wood is a sort of church. They're the same thing, really. 19-year-old Meredith Scott is an unusual girl. She can talk to animals and trees, and she is only ever happy when she's walking in the woods. One snowy afternoon, out with her dogs and Apple the pig, Meredith encounters a blackbird and a fox. As darkness falls, a strange figure enters in their midst, and the path of her life is changed forever. Oh, dang, it's only 64 pages. Now that's a short story. I don't like to do ones that are under 100 pages, but I guess I was just excited that it's Susanna Clark. Yeah, it's trying to get me still. Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer, fourth in the Southern Reach series. It says surprising fourth volume. No one expects a new book by Jeff Vandermeer. When the Southern Reach trilogy was first published a decade ago, blah, 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 blah. This is all about it. I mean, the behind the scenes. There remain questions about who had been complicit in creating the conditions for Area X to take hold. The story of the first mission into the Forgotten Coast before Area X was called Area X had never been fully told. And what if someone had foreseen the world after acceptance? How crazy would they seem? That's a whole lot of words for not telling you what the story is really about. Well, this first row is not being very exciting. Let's hope this one does a little better. Good morning, Mary. been to the vet's this morning to drop off for her operation. Oh, went to the dump. Quite an exciting morning. Oh my goodness. Sounds like it. It's only 8 o'clock there. This is called 11 Houses by Colleen Oakes. On a forgotten part of Nova Scotia, there lies an island. On that island are 11 houses. In those houses sit 11 ancient families, and they are waiting. Mabel is one of the last surviving members of House Bouverie, one of the 11 houses on the haunted island of Weymouth. This is Weymouth. That's being a very popular topic. You can probably picture that cover. Her days, like all the other teens on the island, are spent readying her house for the storm, a once a decade event that pummels the island with hurricane level wind, water, and waves. But that's not all the storm brings with it, because Weymouth Island is a gate between the world of the living and the dead. I would not live there. When Miles Cabot arrives on Weymouth Island after the death of his mother, he realizes quickly it isn't like other places, and Mabel Bovary isn't like other teenagers. There's an intense chemistry between Miles and Mabel that both feel yet neither understand, nor the deadly consequences that will come with it. With the suspicious death of an island elder, a strained dynamic with her younger sister Holly, and the greatest storm in years edging ever closer, Mabel's life is becoming as chaotic as the weather. One thing becomes clear: if the fortified houses of Weymouth Island can't stand against the dead, then she and everyone she loves will pay the price. Well, apparently the dead come back, so it's not necessarily a really bad thing. Just saying. You would join them. End of row one. Annalise is sending love. How to Fall in Love in a Time of Unnameable Disaster by Muriel Lung. Acid rainstorms have transformed New York City into a toxic wasteland, which is not, a terrible thing, cutting its remaining citizens off from one another. In one apartment building, an unlikely family of humans and ghosts survives. Mira reels from a devastating breakup with her partner Mal, whose whereabouts are unknown, while her mother is plagued by furious dreams and her grandfather, Grandpa Y, stakes his claims as a rambunctious ghost. Across the hall, the cockroach Shin, also a ghost. As the world around them worsens, each character must learn to redefine what it means to live, die, and love at the end of the world. Oh, we are just having some strange ones today. Come on, August Clark. Redeem us. Metal from Heaven by August Clark. He who controls Ichorite controls the world. A malleable metal, more durable than steel, Ichorite is a toxic natural resource fueling national growth, and ambitious industrialist Jan Chauncey helms production of this miraculous core. Working his foundry is an underclass of destitute workers struggling to get better wages and proper medical treatment for those exposed to Ichorite's debilitating effects since birth. One of those luster-touched victims, the child worker Marnie Honeycutt, is picketing with her family and best friend when a bloody tragedy unfolds. Chauncey's strike bearers open fire. Only Marnie survives. A decade later, as Jan Chauncey searches for a suitable political marriage for his ward, Marnie sees the perfect opportunity for revenge. With the help of radical bandits and their stolen wealth, she must masquerade as an aristocrat to win over the calculating Gossamer Chauncey and kill the man who slaughtered her family and friends. But she is not the only suitor after Lady Gossamer's hand, leading her to play twisted elitist games of intrigue. And Marnie's luster-touched connection to the mysterious resource and its foundry might put her in grave danger or save her from it. You can mark me safe from buying any of these books. Cree, a post-exotic novel by Manuel Dreger, translated by Leah Swope Mitchell. A warrior struggles through an apocalyptic landscape and the world after death. Kree has been raised as a fearless fighter in a ravaged world, post-apocalyptic, post-human, the population decimated by wars and civilization long since collapsed. After her attempt to avenge the death of her dog Loka goes horribly wrong, Kree finds herself lost in a world after death and wanders into the city of the terrible mendicants. Under the brothers' totalitarian rule, Kree can lead a quiet life and forget her violent past, even if needles grow in her skull and hallucinatory blood rains occasionally pour down to remind her. Okay, moving on. You hit my limit. Blood Orchid. And Mary says, so glad to see you, Annalise. Have missed you. Thanks for loving sending back at you multifold. Peak Angels and everything is yarn and beads. Absolutely. Yes, I have. Can you tell? I was hoping it was all over for you. I'm still hacking away and sounding very sexy. A nice deep voice. No one benefit from it. Indeed. Sorry to hear that, Mary. Feel better soon and keep the voice. Indeed. We should all have sexy voices. May you have sexy voices. The Blood Orchid by Kylie Lee Baker. Whatever power you think you have is an illusion. Whatever your dreams are, they belong to me. And wherever you run, I am already there waiting for you. It sounds like love. Since Zillan entered the world of royal alchemists, she has learned firsthand that alchemy comes at a price. She has lost her family and her beloved prince in her search for justice against the evil empress. All Xylan wants now is find some way to bring them back. Resurrection is her specialty, after all, because that's going to go well. In search of Penglai Island, where the infamous myth says life can be fully restored, Xylan starts a new adventure, but Penglai Island has been kept well hidden by a group of unpredictable and often dangerous alchemists. Uncovering the secret means challenging some of the most powerful alchemists to ever live. And when old threats come back to haunt Xylan, she will have to decide just how much she is willing to sacrifice to save her loved ones, and the price of alchemy that has long defined her and the world around her. This is a duology. End of row 2. The Hollow and the Haunted by Camilla Rains. Miles Warren hails from a long line of psychics. Resigned to a life in the family business, Miles is perfectly happy, thank you very much, apart from the fact he hasn't told anyone he's gay and that he's constantly exhausted from long nights spent wrangling angry ghosts in creepy cemeteries. Perfectly happy. But Miles's comfortable routine is interrupted when he starts having visions of an unfamiliar boy. He soon learns the stranger is Gabriel Hawthorne, whose family have a mysterious decades-long feud with Miles's own, and that the visions are a premonition of his murder. Gabriel is everything Miles expects from a Hawthorne: rude, haughty, irritatingly good-looking. But that doesn't mean Miles is just going to stand by and let someone kill him. Excuse me. The two form an uneasy alliance, trying to solve Gabriel's murder before it happens. As they begin to unravel the web of secrets between their families, and with dark magic swirling around them, Miles is horrified to realize that he doesn't hate Gabriel quite as much as he's supposed to. He might even like him. Horrors. Excuse me. The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door by H.G. Perry. All they needed to break the world was a door and someone to open it. Camford, 1920. Gilded and glittering, England's secret magical academy is no place for Clover, a commoner with neither connections nor magical blood. She's there only to find a cure for her brother Matthew, one of the few survivors of a deadly fairy attack on the battlefields of World War I. Somebody's capitalizing on a popular book. When Clover catches the eye of golden boy Alden Lennox Fontaine and his friends, doors that were previously closed to her are flung wide open, and she soon finds herself enmeshed in the seductive world of the country's magical aristocrats. But the summer she spends in Alden's orbit leaves a fateful mark. Months of joyous friendship and mutual study come crashing down when experiments go awry and old secrets are unearthed. The consequences will only be understood, truly understood, many years later when it's too late. Actually, so far, the best of the bunch. The Woodsmoke Woman's Book of Spells by Rachel Greenlaw. There's an old tale woven through the mountain wood of Woodsmoke about a stranger who appears as the first snow falls in winter, who will disappear without a trace as the frost thaws in spring, leaving a broken heart behind. Carrie Morgan ran from Woodsmoke 10 years ago, and the decision has haunted her ever since. Spending a decade painting and drifting around Europe, she tries to forget her family's legacy and the friends she left behind. But the Morgan women have always been able to harness the power of the mountains surrounding the town, and their spells and curses are sewn into the soil. The mountains, they say, never forget. Sure enough, when Carrie's grandmother dies and leaves behind her dilapidated cottage, she returns to renovate, certain she will only be there for one winter. She meets Matthew as the temperature dips, a newcomer who offers to help refurbish the cottage. Before long, and despite warnings from her great aunt Cora of the old stories, Carrie finds herself falling for the charming stranger. But when the frost thaws in spring, Matthew goes missing. Carrie is convinced he's real and he's in danger. As she fights her way across the mountains to find him, she must confront all the reasons why she left Woodsmoke and decide whether the place she spent the last decade running from is the home she's been searching for. That is also a good possibility. Feels gothic-y, but also unique enough. Slim pickings today. Very slim. Monstrous Nights by Genoveva Demolva. Second of the Witch's Compendium of Monsters duology. With her magic reclaimed and her role in the community of Chernograd restored, Kasara's life should finally be back to normal, but of course things can't possibly be that simple. She is now in possession of 12 witches' shadows. Holding them may grant her unprecedented power, but that doesn't mean they're always willing to do her bidding. Across the wall in Belgrade, Asen chases his only lead on the latest witch murder case. He follows the trail of smuggling kingpin Konstantin Karavanov to an underground monster auction, which leads him right back to Chernograd. There, sinister events follow one another after another. Snow falls in midsummer, a witch with two shadows is found dead, and monsters that should only appear during the foul days are sighted. The barrier between worlds thins, and Gosara is certain it's her fault and her job to fix. End of that row. The Crack in the Crystal by Barak Engel. 5 unlikely heroes, one buried secret. At the heart of the volcanic city of Khyber lies a secret that has been hidden for centuries. The clues surrounding this mystery begin to unfold when 5 strangers are recruited by a shadowy organization. As covert missions lead to more questions than answers, the increasingly desperate heroes seek help from unexpected sources. The key to Khyber's secret and the truth behind each of their paths can only be found by facing fierce stone storms, unlocking dormant fantastical abilities, and confronting past mistakes. Caught up in intrigues beyond their understanding, the ragtag band of adventurers must learn to trust themselves and each other as they reach for the stunning conclusion. John Gwynn has a new one. His author's on my TBR. This is third in the Bloodsworn trilogy called The Fury of the Gods. The final battle for the fate of Vigrid approaches. Varg has overcome the trials of his past and become an accepted member of the Sworn. But now he and his newfound comrades face their biggest challenge yet, slaying a dragon. Elvar is struggling to consolidate her power in Snakavik, where she faces threats from without and within. As she fights to assert her authority in readiness for the coming conflict, she faces a surely insurmountable task, reigning in the ferocity of a wolf god. As Beor and his warband make their way north, eager for blood, Gorvar pursues a mission of his own, hoping to win Ligorifa's favor and further his own ambitions. All paths lead to, I'm going to say Snakeavik because it sounds better, where the lines are being drawn for the final battle, a titanic clash that will shake the foundations of the world and bear witness to the fury of the gods. That's easy for you to say. Not so much. The Springborn. Well, that's a pretty cover. By Carrie Ann Noble. An 1880s coal town is no place for a girl with antlers. I say that all the time. Once upon a winter's day, a childless miner and his wife find baby Sabella in a mysterious basket. When she suddenly grows a pair of silvery gray antlers, they hide her from the world in embarrassment and fear. 17 years later, Sabella's life is nothing but housework and loneliness, but charming 19-year-old Calder arrives on her doorstep, determined to change that. He knows her secret and has plenty of his home. Among them, he's been her unseen protector for years, but he's only 2 years older than her. He has the wings of a moth, and he's part of the Springborn, a group of people with extraordinary gifts like hers. As Calder strives to win Sabella's heart and the Springborn welcome her with open arms, disaster strikes. She and Calder must work together to save their exceptional family from an unlikely enemy, and in doing so, discover what it means to be true to themselves, their gifts, and each other. Last one. You might only have time to read a couple paragraphs here. Remember You Will Die by Eden Robbins. Can the absence of words tell a story? Like a pattern in lace, the holes as important as the threads? A search, a puzzle, 60 protagonists, all of whom are dead. Told entirely through obituaries and ricocheting through time, Remember You Will Die is an innovative, genre-bending epic about the messy tapestry of human history and the threads that connect us, told through the eyes of Peregrine, an AI mother grappling with the unexpected death of her human daughter, Poppy. And from the newspaper clippings of individual lives emerges something else unexpected. Generations entwined through blood and art and the consequences of their actions, betrayals, and redemptions that traverse our dying world and beyond. Absolutely. Let's end on something strange like the other books. What a weird week. Reminds me of Thunderbolt. Oh, yeah. Yes, you're right. Uh, hope you feel better as day goes along. Lee, so great to see you today. Hope everyone has a great day. Indeed. Hope to see you guys later. You too, Mary. Sprints tonight? Yes. Sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and they go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes. Whatever it is you want to do, that is time carved out for you while listening to ambiance. Tomorrow's morning show is TGIF freeform, so we'll probably be looking at more cozy mysteries, unless some others catch my eye just to make note of. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, thank you very much. If you're not able to watch this live like these guys, I do post this in a couple hours, so you can watch it back if you want to see what the new releases are. Oh, oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you, thank you. It's just an irritating cold. Alrighty, hope to see you guys later. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.